بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلق من لساني يفقهوا قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته and welcome everybody from all over the globe. We had about 1,800 people registered for this webinar, and I want to say thank you for those who turned up live, because honestly you guys are the best, because you guys are going to be here for the live show. Everyone else watch the web with the recording, but whether you watch the live show or the recording, I hope that you all benefit, inshallah ta'ala, make this useful and beneficial for you, inshallah ta'ala. So this is a webinar about the practical guide to staying consistent after Ramadan. It's all about the strategies, the tips, and the tools, inshallah ta'ala, to be your best self after Ramadan, spiritually, physically, socially, inshallah ta'ala. Think of this webinar as the sort of the help that you need. That, sometimes after Ramadan, we all know the feeling, right? We've been through the excitement period after Ramadan. We're all excited about Ramadan. And sometimes after Ramadan, it's just like, you feel there's something missing. You feel like, oh man, the mosque is getting empty. That whole level of spirituality is not there. And you think like, wow, that sounds like an anticlimax, right? It sounds like, man, I'm struggling with all of this. So with that in mind, I wanted to make sure that you're in the right place. So if this webinar is for you, if you are serious about living the best version of yourself. Think about it. If you guys are serious, I'll be honest with you. If you're not serious, or if you just came to this webinar just like, okay, let me just listen and see what happens, honestly, this webinar might not be beneficial for you. But if you're serious, say, you know what, I really, really want to live the best version of myself. I just don't want to go back to my old self. I just don't want to be the person I was before Ramadan. I really, alhamdulillah, I've had a good Ramadan, or even I've had not a very good Ramadan, but now I'm serious. That's it. I've decided to live the best version of myself after Ramadan. So I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys serious or not? Are you guys serious, saying, yes, I am serious. I'm not going to go back to my old self. I'm not going to, I'm not going to live the old version of me. I am now ready to make the most of this post-Ramadan period and really get back. I want to hear some yeses. Are you serious about living the best version of yourself? Definitely serious. Yes. Anisa, Khairul, excellent. Okay. Good. So we got some serious people on board, and we haven't got people who are just here for the whole thing. They're actually totally serious. Awesome. The second, people, if you want to maintain consistency after Ramadan, right? You want to say, hey, I've had, alhamdulillah, great Ramadan experience. I was reading the Quran, I was doing tahajjud, I was doing qiyam, I was giving charity, I was a really good person, I was nice to my family, I was nice to my people around me, I was high performing. I just want to maintain that consistency after Ramadan. So again, if you're ready to maintain consistency, then yes, please do. This is the webinar for you. And in the last one, if you feel like, okay, I'm kind of serious and I'm not sure about consistency, but you know what? I really, really, really don't want to I really don't want to lose the battle of life against shaitan and the nafs, right? Shaitan right now is in full force, guys. Like the gates have been opened for him and he's coming full force at us. And if we're not ready, if we don't have the practical tips, if you don't have the practical strategies to win this battle of life, honestly, we are going to succumb to his tricks. We're going to succumb to his strategies. And in the end, we're going to go back to exactly how we are on our old self. So we want to win this battle of life. This is a battle. Again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very clear. He's pointedly said, that the shaitan is your number one enemy. Like, he's public enemy number one. He did not sort of hide this fact. It's very, very clear. So if you want to win the battle of life against shaitan and the battle of life against yourself, right? Because sometimes ourselves plays around, then you'll need to make sure that you're ready for the next Ramadan, inshallah ta'ala. So that's why. So again, people are saying I'm slowly losing shaitan. That's why I'm here. Okay, good. So you're in the right time, the right place. Inshallah, we will give you the strategies to win back against shaitan and your nafs. So we want to make sure that you guys are making self. So for those of you, just quick one, for those of you who are struggling a bit with audio, it could be your connection, or it could be make sure that we can reload this page and you'll be up there, inshallah ta'ala. But you should hear my voice and we should be ready to start, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so if you're the right webinar, I want you to fast forward to 11 months from now. Okay, it's fast forward 11 months from now. It's a few days left before the first day of Ramadan. You're totally excited. You can't wait. You have your Ramadan meals, your Ramadan plans. You may be attending ProductiveMuslim Ramadan planner, Ramadan webinars by then, subhanAllah. and subhanAllah, the angel of death comes and takes your soul. Now, I don't want to sound morbid, but I want you to just, think about that moment and realizing that potentially you cannot or you will not witness the next Ramadan. The question is, where would you see yourself then? Because here's the thing, a lot of us, we kind of go through this up and down, right? We say, okay, we go through Ramadan, we feel great, and then we go back to our old self, and the next Ramadan comes and repeat the whole process again. But if we don't see ourselves 11 months from now, that we are better than we are today, forget getting to next Ramadan, that's a different topic. But if we don't see ourselves 5 months from now, 11 months from now, 10 months from now, being a better version of yourself, so that if you don't make it, you still have shown improvement. If you don't make it, you still are making progress. You still are a better version of yourself 11 months from now than you are today. Does this make sense? Does this make sense, guys? Right? So the idea here is that we're not here to prepare for next Ramadan. People think, okay, I'm here to prepare for next Ramadan. I want to, make sure that things go. I want to make sure you're not preparing for next Ramadan. I want you to actually prepare just to be a better version of yourself tomorrow than today, and 1 month from now than today, and 5 months from now than today, and 10 months from now than today, and 11 months from now from today, so that even if you do not make it to next Ramadan, you're still making progress, you're still moving forward, you're still living the best version of yourself. Does this make sense? I see people say, yes, it makes sense. Awesome. So with that in mind, in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to basically go over a few things. I'm going to go over a framework to develop your best self, inshallah. And this framework is basically built on the idea that we need to have the right mindset, the right values, and the right rituals so that we can be the best version of ourselves after Ramadan. We're also going to talk about how to develop this is an incorrect statement, how to avoid develop. It's actually how to develop the right mindset and avoid what the hell effect. There's a typo in the slides. How to develop the right mindset and avoid the what the hell effect. We'll talk about the what the hell effect in a minute, inshallah. Thirdly, we'll talk about the two most powerful beliefs you need to have to carry with you all the time in order to be constantly improving. If you do not have these two powerful beliefs inside of you, you'll find it very, very hard to stay consistent, very, very hard to be motivated, very, very hard to move forward in your life. And finally, we'll end with some 7 rituals developed to help you become the best version of yourself. Okay, so this is going to be the next 45 minutes, going to be jam-packed. So I hope you guys are going to be on a ride with me, ready to take notes and to move, inshallah. So, what makes this webinar different? I'm sure by now you're probably hearing a lot of these like khutbahs and, halaqas and a lot of programs about how to be the best version of yourself and how to basically, how to live life for Ramadan. What makes Productive Muslim unique and different, what makes this webinar different, inshallah, is that we combine both faith concepts with peak performance science. Our specialty is to combine faith concepts with peak performance science to help you live the best version of yourself. This is kind of the unique, proposition that Productive Muslim brings to the table. We try to not just tell you the spiritual side of things, but also connect it with the latest psychology, with the latest science, latest experiments that are made today that help people understand how to hack their bodies, how to hack their minds, how to hack their selves so that they can be the best version of themselves. That's the purpose of this webinar. And I hope you find this webinar, inshallah, useful and practical. So for those of you who don't know, a bit about myself, inshallah. So my name is Muhammad Faris, sometimes not Abu Productive. So if you are online, my Twitter handle or on Facebook, you'll see is Abu Productive. I have no idea where I got that name from, but that's a tag that I've been commonly known with. So I was born in Tanzania in East Africa. I lived in Saudi in the UK, and now I'm based here in Texas in Dallas, inshallah. So I run the Productive Muslim company together with an amazing team that have been working very, very hard behind the scenes to help you all live the best version of yourselves. And I also run another company called Leading Productive Lives, which offers productivity, consulting, and training. So I'm the author of the book, The Productive Muslim. Some of you might have got a copy of the book. Can I have a show of hands? How many of you got a copy of the book? This is a time for you to become a pet peeve. So how to teach us pet, basically. The Productive Muslim book, it's been out for 2 years now. And it's a book about a practical guide to help you live the best version of yourself. I'm also a consultant executive coach, linking spirituality to productivity and peak performance science. And my life's mission, inshallah ta'ala, and the mission of our team, the mission of Productive Muslim, is to help you become the best version of yourself spiritually, physically, and socially. That's why we're here. And thank you, Maria, Yasra, and Jalila, Nazma, Khairul, Jerry, and all of Sidra, and all of you for having the Productive Muslim book. Really, really appreciate it. Inshallah ta'ala, Allah reward you. And for those who don't have a copy of the book, please do get the copy, inshallah ta'ala. So let's begin. Bismillah. Let's begin and start our journey towards how to live this post-Ramadan, inshallah ta'ala. So I'm here to... does this sound like you? Okay, you tell me yes or no, right? The first one is, each year, you come out of Ramadan with clear Ramadan resolutions, right? You say, okay, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But you don't follow through, right? A month, 2 months in, and those Ramadan resolutions sounds like New Year's resolutions. Basically, they don't get done. We know that 90% of New Year resolutions don't get followed through. Number two, you start the post-Ramadan period really strong. Like you are now, probably in these first few weeks, you start really strong. You're reciting the Quran, you're doing tahajjud, you're like, yeah, I got this. I'm good. I'm doing really, really well. But after a few weeks, based on previous experience, your motivation wanes and something happens and you fall back into your old self, okay? Or maybe this first few weeks, you make a mistake. You do something stupid. You commit a sin that you thought you would stop doing completely, but you just go back to, you made that mistake, you make a sin, and then you beat yourself up. You're like, oh man, like I shouldn't have done that. And then you feel so guilty, right? You go into this whole downward spiral from like guilt to depression to like, I'm so bad, I'm a hypocrite, Allah not forgive me, I'm not good enough. And then you just don't follow through. Right? You just completely give up and say, oh man, forget this. I don't know. Maybe I'm not cut out for this stuff. Okay. And the last point is you feel just overwhelmed. You're just like, okay, I'm ready. You're like, okay, I'm ready. I want to become the best version of myself. I really want to go out there and improve myself. But I'm like, where do I start? Like, honestly, where do you start? Do I start on my spirituality? Do I start with my relationship, my family? Do I start with salah? Do I start with work? Like, where do I even start? Okay, so does this sound like you? So I see a lot of yeses, true, yes, true. So if this sounds like you, I don't want you to fret. I don't want you to get disappointed. I want you to realize that I have some really, really, really good news for you. The good news is that none of those things are your real problem. Okay, none of those things are your real problem. It's not about you. It's not that you're a bad person. It's not that you're not good enough. It's not that something's wrong with you. The real problem is that you haven't adopted a practical framework to get better Ramadan after Ramadan after Ramadan. And guess what, guys? This is what I want to share with you today. Today's whole point is to share with you this practical framework so that you can live with this and make this an actual way of moving forward. Okay. So good news. Don't feel like, oh my God, I'm so bad. Oh my God, I'm not good enough. Oh my God, I know I can never be better. Good news is that there is a practical framework to help you become the better version of yourself. You just need to follow this framework, inshallah, I'm going to share with you today and make the most out of it, inshallah. Okay. So with that good news, now what is this framework and what will this framework do for you? Well, this framework is all about helping you become more consistent in your improvement. It's all about helping you feel, this whole idea of self-development feel more natural and easier. It's all about developing your relationships. It's all about improving yourself spiritually, physically, socially, and overall, it helping you live a meaningful, productive lifestyle. So I hope that this framework is something that you learned today. Maybe you guys came today for about post-Ramadan and how to get the most out of Ramadan. But I hope that if you learned today, you would say this actually framework applies across all your life, something that you are willing to work with and work for throughout the rest of your life, inshallah ta'ala. So what is this framework and how to make this framework happen? By the way, guys, I see some questions being posted. I will answer your questions towards the end, inshallah ta'ala. So I hope you guys can just bear with me a little bit so I can go to the presentation. I'll answer your questions, inshallah ta'ala, towards the end of this webinar. So when you get this framework, these are some of the benefits of how you'll what this framework will do for you, inshallah. So what is this framework I'm talking about? It's a very simple framework, and I hope you guys can actually learn it, memorize it, maybe draw it, maybe write down, draw it for yourself. Think about it has about 3 parts. It's all about the mindset that you have, the values that you develop, and the rituals that you have. Okay, let me go through it again. It's about mindset, how you think about things, values, what you believe in, and rituals, which rituals is how to connect and basically sort of the actions. And for those of you who are into psychology or into positive psychology or coaching will know about the whole, thought, belief, action, right? You think of something, you believe in it, then you act upon it. This is very, very similar to this, right? It's about developing the mindset, developing those values, developing rituals. So the question now is, what are those mindsets? What are those things you have to think about and constantly remind yourself of that will help you maintain that post-Ramadan experience? What are those values that you need to develop, you should believe in to help you maintain that post-Ramadan experience? And what are those rituals, actions you should stick to help you maintain the post-Ramadan experience? This is what this framework is about. And I'm going to go through each one of these, break it down step by step, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so let's first start off with the mindsets. So we're going to talk about 3 aspects of this. The one is think realistic. Number 2, think long-term. Number 3, think holistic. Let me go over these 3 again. Think realistic, think long-term, think holistic. And why is this important to help you become the better version of yourself? Let's talk about think realistic. Okay, let me sort of bust a myth that we all have, okay? And this unfortunate myth is always perpetuated after Ramadan. We are told that we need to be as good as we were in Ramadan. Now, here's a reality check. It is highly improbable. I won't say impossible, because nothing is impossible to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is highly improbable for you to be the same after Ramadan as you are during Ramadan. I know this might be a shock. I know someone might disagree with me, but just listen to it. It is highly improbable, not impossible, but it's highly improbable for you to be exactly the same after Ramadan as you are during Ramadan. Who can tell me why? Who can tell me what is it about Ramadan? Why can't we be exactly the same after Ramadan as we are during Ramadan? Who would like to share some thoughts? You can type it in. What thoughts do you have about this? I'll take a break and drink some water. Bismillah. Okay. So some of you say Shaitan is back. Okay, what else? What is it about it? Okay, some because of the fasting. Some because you're not reciting Quran. I'm looking for something else. No whispering in your mind. Okay, you guys you really hate Shaitan. All right. Okay. So some of it, so here's the thing. Some of it is spiritual, right? Some of it is spiritual, meaning that, yes, the Shaitan is unchained. So there's the extra layer of whispers, extra layer of almost like thoughts you have to go through to clear yourself up so that you maintain that concept of Ramadan. Some of you, good point, the community, right? The environment, everyone is worshiping, everyone is praying, everyone is reading the Quran, everyone is fasting, everyone is doing so much that, you just, even if you don't want to, right? Exactly, Jerry, the mindset, even if you don't want to, everyone is geared up to becoming the best version of themselves. Everyone is geared up to basically say, hey, it's Ramadan, I'm going to be the best. That whole community aspect, right? It becomes much, it's a very, very important. We are social creatures, all right? And here's where the science comes in. We are social creatures. And when we see people around us doing everything, we follow that crowd. No one's going to sit after Ramadan, during Ramadan and say, you know what, I'm not going to fast. It's very, very hard to say, I'm not going to fast. I'm not going to recite the Quran. I'm not going to go and pray Taraweeh. It's actually quite hard to say that because everyone is doing it and everyone is encouraging you and everyone is helping you. That is powerful. So there's a spiritual aspect. There is the social aspect, the community aspect. There's also the physical aspect, right? When you deprive your physical body, see, our nafs, our cells, it's made of two parts. One of it is the ruh, which is our soul, and the other one is our body, our jasad, right? Now, when these two, and each of these have their needs, right? When our bodies have needs and our spirituality have needs. Now, in Ramadan, we kind of deprive our bodily needs, right? Our physical needs. We eat less, we sleep less, we drink less, and that allows for some space for our ruh to flourish. That allows for some space for our soul to kind of take more of the prime time, take more of the stage instead of our physical needs taking always the stage. So suddenly we have this space, this spiritual space, this ruh space for us to really explore and develop our, see the power of spirituality. And that's why it is much easier to develop ourselves, to become more spiritual and to be the best version of ourselves in Ramadan than it is outside Ramadan. Now, so here's the key lesson. The reason why I say this is that people think, okay, that's great, Muhammad, you just completely demotivated us from being the best version of ourselves after Ramadan. Well, here's the good news. The good news is that instead of setting, unrealistic expectations for yourself, instead of setting, expectations that basically exceed reality, set expectations that are in line with reality. What do I mean by this? Think about it this way. If I expect for myself after Ramadan to be exactly as I was during Ramadan, and after Ramadan comes and reality hits and I don't meet that expectation, what happens to me? What happens to my motivation? What happens to my excitement about improving myself and becoming the best version of myself? What happens to me? Looking for the chat. Okay, exactly. Visa, I get demotivated. Exactly. I get demotivated. I feel like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I feel sad. I feel like, I feel discouraged. I become negative thoughts, right? I crash and burn. Yeah, exactly. I won't do it anymore. Exactly, right? Expectations exceeded reality. And that's the challenge. So here's the key point. Try to realize what is reality? What is realistic for me to achieve after Ramadan? Set realistic expectations. That's the first mindset. I need to set realistic expectations. Now, this does not mean, it's not an excuse for you to say, okay, it's realistic for me not to do anything, right? It's to say, no, it's realistic for me to say, for example, you used to recite, you used to pray 20 rak'ahs of Taraweeh every night, or even 8 rak'ahs of Taraweeh every night. Then it is realistic for you to say, you know what, I'm going to pray at least witr every night instead of not praying any witr before, any qiyam every night. Or at least I'm going to, I used to give $100 or $50 or so much money in charity, but I'm going to give maybe not the same amount, but at least something every day or every week. So you start setting those realistic expectations, because those realistic expectations are much easier to be met. And when you meet these expectations, you'll feel motivated. You'll feel that, yes, I can do this. You'll feel that, yes, I am improving. I'm building up what I learned from Ramadan and moving myself forward. Is this clear, guys? Is it clear? The idea here is when expectations exceed reality, you'll feel demotivated, you'll feel disappointed. And I want you to remove this dream idea that, yes, I can be after Ramadan the way I am during Ramadan. But if expectations sort of meet reality, if I make those realistic goals that make sense, goals that I know I can stick to, then that will become much more motivating for you, and you'll be able to continue and be the best version of yourself. Now, here's the classic shaitan trick. right? The classic shaitan trick. And this is documented in psychology. It's called the what the hell effect. I'm sure some of you have experienced this what the hell effect. Here it goes. Imagine that you are on a diet, right? You're on a diet. You say no more fried foods, no more sweets, no more unhealthy, junk food, right? And then one day you get someone gives you a piece of chocolate, or someone gives you a slice of pizza, or someone gives you, a fried samosa or something like that. Okay. Now, when you have that, you realize, oh man, I broke my diet. What the hell? I might as well just forget about this diet and go exactly to what I used to eat, junk food, sweets, and fried food, and everything else that goes with it. Right? So the what the hell effect is when you make one mistake or you make one thing wrong, right? And you just say to yourself, the shaitan comes and says, what the hell, right? Because you messed up, go back to your old self, right? Maybe you're trying to say, let's say you're trying to fast 6 days of Shawwal, all right? And then you fast maybe 1 or 2 days, but then you feel so tired one day and you break your fast one day. And you're like, oh, what the hell? Forget fasting 6 days of Shawwal. Or for example, you're saying, well, I'm going to recite Quran every morning. And then one day you wake up and then you just don't recite Quran that morning. You say, oh, what the hell? I cannot stick to recite Quran. Forget it. I'm not going to recite ever again. Or maybe someday say, oh, maybe I will, I want to stop praying tahajjud. Or I'm going to give charity. Or I'm going to be nice to my relatives or parents or children. And then one day you lose your temper for something small. And they, oh, what the hell? Forget it. Or maybe you are, unfortunately, this is a disease in our community nowadays. You're addicted to pornography, addicted to seeing haram and listening to haram. And suddenly one day, you lose your willpower. You do see haram. You do say haram. And then you say, oh, what the hell? Forget it. I'm a bad person. Then I'll just, keep on watching and keep on listening. So the idea of this is a classic shaitan trick because, he's smart, right? He's got a few thousand years of experience dealing with human beings. He won't come hitting you from day one and say, hey, stop praying, stop reciting Quran, stop making dua, stop doing everything. He's going to come to you at a very, very, very slow and smart and strategic way of bringing you down. He's going to make you do small mistakes, small slips, small, little, give up a little bit here, a little bit there. And then over maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, you realize, oh my God, that's it. I've messed up so bad. What the hell? Let me go back to my old self. Does this make sense? So I want you now, from now on, when you hear the what the hell playing in your head, you're saying, no. I'm not going to fall for the what the hell effect. I know this trick. I've been through this trick before. I'm not going to fall for this trick before. I'm going to press the reset button and start all over again. And I'm not going to give up because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to give up on me until the last breath. I'm not going to give up on the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So do not fall for this trick. It's a classic trick. It's it's a stepping stone. Exactly like it's a stepping stone. Do not fall for this trick. Help yourself by resetting and getting yourself back on track. This is the mindset, the thoughts, because these thoughts play a huge trick in your mind. These thoughts play a huge impact on whether you proceed and be consistent after Ramadan, or you find yourself, falling back to your old self, basically. Now, the last one is the power of envisioning obstacles to your goals. Now, hear what this means. Sometimes I know people talk about, when you want to achieve goals in your life, right? You want to achieve certain goals in your life. They say you should have a vision for what that goal looks like, right? Think about what would it look like for you to be the best version of yourself. What would it look like for you to basically achieve, be that person who's consistent, to be that person who's spiritual, who's doing really well physically, socially, spiritually, and just imagine those goals. Now, the only challenge with that, again, there's a lot of interesting research now came up that says actually, when you think about those goals as if you achieve them, your brain and your body becomes lazier. It doesn't actually go ahead and try to achieve those goals, because in your mind, so your brain is a very interesting creature, and your brain does not differentiate between reality and imagination, right? So this is the some work on neuroscience. Your brain does not differentiate between reality and imagination. So when you imagine that you have achieved your goals, that you are achieving your goals or have achieved your goals, what happens is that your brain thinks, oh, Alhamdulillah, I've made it. I've achieved my goal. I'm now a person who recites Quran every day. I'm now a person who prays Tahajjud every day. I'm now a person who's really, really good. I'm now a person who the person who just achieved this, I'm a person who's basically at the best version of myself. But the moment you start telling yourself, hold on a second, what is the goal? And what are the obstacles that will stop me from achieving these goals? Right? What are the challenges I might face from achieving these goals? Now your brain starts thinking hard about how to start setting up your goals to achieve them. Okay? So this is the key here. The key message here is this. You have goals, and you envision the goals, right? You think about where you're going to be 11 months from now. But instead of thinking to yourself, okay, alhamdulillah, inshallah ta'ala, I'll achieve this goal 11 months from now, start thinking that I need to think about the obstacles, the challenges, because when you think about these obstacles can mean things like, for example, I won't have time. Obstacles can be my friends who might not help me. Obstacles might mean that my schedule is not set up so that I can maybe do some of the tasks and habits I want to set up. Obstacles is anything that will stop you from achieving your goals. Anything that will stop you from achieving your goals. Start thinking about those obstacles. What will get in the way between you and achieving your goals? When you start thinking about those obstacles, you are being more realistic. You are much more able to achieve your goals. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? So it's not about saying to yourself, alhamdulillah, I'm going to have this beautiful vision for myself, but they will, saying that I'm going to have this beautiful vision of myself, and then just sort of forget about the obstacle, forget about thinking about all the challenges you're going to be facing. So this first mindset shift, think realistic. Realize that number one, make sure that your expectations meets reality. Number two, do not fall on the classic shaitan trick of what the hell effect. Number three, remember that when you think about the future, you think about your goals, think of the obstacles that come between you and your goals as well. These two things, when they come between them, they will help you maintain that realistic expectations. That's the first mindset shift. That's the first mindset shift. The second mindset shift is to think holistically. Again, we sometimes fall in this trick. A lot of us, when we think about being better after Ramadan, most of us think about being better on a spiritual level, right? That I pray more, I read more Quran, I give more in charity, I pray tahajjud, I pray qiyamul layl, right? I do more adhkar, I do more salawat, I do more dhikr, right? We always think about the spiritual aspects of improving ourselves. I want you to think not just of your spiritual aspects, but think across all your roles. Across all your roles. What are your roles? You are a father or a mother. You are a brother or a sister. You are a son or a daughter. You are an employee or a business owner, entrepreneur, professional. You are a student. You are, a nephew, an uncle, an aunt. You have so many roles beyond just that spiritual aspect of yourself. Yes, the spirituality encompasses everything, but it should not stop there. So think holistically. Don't think, how can I be the best version of myself by praying more and read Quran only? Think, how can I be the best version of myself on a spiritual level, on a physical level, on a social level, on an intellectual level, so that I'm improving across all my roles. That is the holistic understanding. That's the holistic understanding. It's not about thinking about the one area of your life. Does this make sense? Does this make the second mindset shift? Think holistic. Don't think narrowly. Think holistically across all your roles, not just in terms of your one particular role, inshallah ta'ala. Okay? Bismillah. Okay, awesome. The next one is think long term, right? A lot of us, we fall in this trick. We think about, I need to improve myself. Here's a classic story. Someone comes to me and says, Hamad, I'm struggling to wake up for Fajr, right? Or I'm struggling to pray Qiyam. Or I'm struggling to have a good relationship with my parents or my children. Or I'm struggling to, build my business, something along those lines, right? And I was like, okay, sure. I mean, we all go through life struggles, but what's next? I mean, what do you mean if you struggle? Do you just give up? Do you give up praying Fajr on time? Do you give up improving yourself? Do you give up being a better version of yourself? Or do you just go back to your old self? Think about Long term, where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now across all your roles? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now across all your roles? Where do you see yourself 20 years from now across all your roles? When you start thinking long term, something powerful happens. You start thinking big. You start realizing, whoa, maybe I might not be able to memorize Quran in 6 months or 1 year, but 5 years from now, maybe I'm not able to pray on time every day for a month in the next maybe 30 days. But 6 months from now, maybe I might not have a great relationship with my children or my family, in the next, right now because of some issues I'm going through. But 5 years from now, right? You start thinking about what would the best version of yourself look like in a long term. When you start thinking long term, it opens up. Right? It opens up your potential. It opens up like, wow, I'm actually underestimating myself. There's a quote by Bill Gates, which I love, right? A lot of people, they overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year, but they underestimate what they can achieve in 5 years, right? If you think about that, it's true. A lot of people, they overestimate what they can achieve 1 year. A lot of us have like 1 year goals, which are like a lot of stuff, but we always underestimate what we can do in 5 years' time, in 3 years' time. And I want you to develop what's called a gardener mindset. A gardener mindset means that, a gardener does not sort of put the seed in, put some water in, sleep one night, come back next day. Oh, nothing happening. Oh man, forget it. I'm not a good gardener. I'm a terrible gardener. Forget this. No, a gardener thinks long term. A gardener thinks about the sustainability of his soil. The gardener thinks about how he can prepare for the next season. A gardener always thinks about how can he improve the crops so that each year the crops get better and better and better. That's the gardener mindset. I want you to develop the exact same thing. Develop the gardener mindset. Develop the gardener mindset. Now, people think, well, I might not live that long, right? Arena's asking the question, I'm not lived that long. Should I even try to think long term? Well, here's the beautiful thing about our religion. Here's the beautiful thing about Islam, that we are rewarded for our intention. We are rewarded. And I cannot stress this enough. This is the most powerful thing in Islam, that we underutilize this whole concept. We are rewarded for our goals, for our intentions. When we intend to, let's say, memorize Quran, and we say, okay, it might take us 5 years or 10 years. And subhanAllah, within 3 months, you'd pass away. You start memorizing Quran, but 3 months later, you pass away. Suddenly, you will be rewarded for the intention. And sometimes that intention might be exactly as you memorize Quran. I mean, think about the power of this, the power of you just thinking, being intentional. That is powerful. So don't underestimate thinking long term, because when you think long term, you'll think big. And when you think big, it will push yourself to go beyond just those short-term goals. Okay, I need to do X, Y, Z. No, let's say, for example, I want to think about, let's say I want to build a mosque, right? Maybe you set a goal for yourself. In 5 years' time, I want to build this huge mosque somewhere, right? And subhanAllah, for some reason, you try your best, but it just doesn't come through. But you are rewarded for that intention. And who knows, maybe your children or your children's children might know about your intention, and they maybe fulfill your intention for you. How many times have you heard of projects that were started off by grandfathers and great grandfathers, and they were completed by children and the next generation? That is the power of thinking long term. Does this make sense? Does this make sense, Shaitan? Right? What would the best version of yourself look like? First, think long term, think realistic, think inshallah holistic, and those three things will help you maintain a powerful version of yourself. Now, to make it more practical, I don't want to sort of give you some thought experiments. To make it more practical, I'm going to do two things. Number one, I'm going to share a file with you right now on this. It's called our ProductiveMuslim Goal Planner. Okay, if you can see the file I've just shared with you, the idea of this file is to help you think about your long-term goals. across all your roles, your spiritual roles, your work roles, your family, your community, your ummah. And if you're not sure how to fill this goal, there's a YouTube video. Just type in ProductiveMuslim goal planner. There's a YouTube video where I explain how to fill this goal planner. And this will help you think long-term across all your roles. So this is the think holistically and think long-term coming together. Next, I want you to, based on your long-term goals, set your 1 year post-Ramadan goals, right? Which is, I want to maintain my 1 year post-Ramadan goals. I want to make sure that for the next, given my long-term goals, in the next 12 months, where do I see myself? Before next Ramadan, where do I want to achieve? Before next Ramadan, how can I make sure that I become the best version of myself? This is the post-Ramadan goal. Now, here's where you think realistic. Think of the obstacles you might face, right? Don't just set those 1 year goal and think, alhamdulillah, I have 1 year goal, I'm good. No, think of all the problems, everything that can go wrong. Everything that can go wrong that, that can help you, inshallah. Everything that can go wrong, think about the obstacles you might face. And yes, the plan is in the book. So think of the obstacles you might face, and then think about how you're planning to overcome those obstacles. Okay, so this is practical tips. Think long-term across all your roles. Set your 1 year post-Ramadan goals across all your roles. Think of the obstacles. Think of all the challenges, all the issues you'll face, and think, how can I overcome those obstacles? If you set yourself up for this, if you make this real, if you make this, you will find yourself that, yes, alhamdulillah, I'm able to achieve all the Ramadan goals I've set myself. Think realistic, think holistic, think long-term. This is the mindset shift that needs to be happening for you to maintain post-Ramadan productivity. How are you guys feeling so far? Oh my God, I'm rushing out, I'm almost running out of time, but I still have to go through values and rituals, but inshallah, it won't take that long. How are you guys feeling so far? This is a quick check-in. How are you guys feeling? Describe one word that describes how you feel right now. Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling like, okay, this is interesting? How are you feeling so far, guys? Yeah, go drink some water. Bismillah. Feeling awesome. Okay, good. 80% motivated. All right. Let's see if we can get to 100%. Okay, values. Now, I wanted to share two values, two things that, we repeat this at least 17 times a day, but it is very, 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 very powerful. The first, this is in that verse in the Surah Al-Fatiha, which is إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدْ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ, right? إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدْ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ, which is you alone we worship and you alone we seek help from. Think about these two phrases. I cannot describe how powerful this is. When you say, you alone we worship, what you're saying, oh Allah, I am your slave and I am dedicating my life to you. So I'm not going to give up. I'm your slave. A slave doesn't give up on their master, right? A slave always says, I'm attached to my master. I belong to my master and I'm here to serve my master. You alone we worship means, oh Allah, I am your slave and I'm dedicating my life to you. And this value, this belief will help you through those moments when you want to give up. This value will help you realize that, hey, even if I feel like giving up, even if I feel like, oh my God, I'm not good enough, but I am Allah's slave. I have to worship him. I need to dedicate my life to him. I need to serve him. I need to be the best version of myself. I need to say and do good so that I'm only worshiping him. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدْ. The second aspect of this, at the same time, this is again a beautiful thing with Islam, and says, وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ, and you alone will seek help from. And this is beautiful because in order for you to actually worship him, you actually need his help. So you're not alone. You're not alone. It's not like you're on your own. Sometimes we take things on ourselves too much. We think that, oh my God, I need to I need to improve myself. I need to be better. We try to carry on too much weight on ourselves. And then we realize, oh, it's too hard. I can't. Shaitan is too strong. My nafs is too strong. My environment is not helping me. My family is not helping me. The society is not helping me, right? So instead, I want you to think, no, I'm not alone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is helping me. And this is confirmed by a hadith of Rasulullah that says, "Ana 'inda dhanni 'abdi bi." I am where my servant thinks of me. So if you think well of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you think, oh, Allah will actually help me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will actually, make things easier for me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will actually open the doors for me. He's going to help me improve. He's going to help me pray tahajjud. He's going to help me recite the Quran. He's going to help me be a better parent. He's going to help me be a better son or daughter. He's going to help me become a better, citizen. All these things, when you start thinking about this concept, this value system coming together will help you set those good intentions and work hard. Because A, you realize I need to dedicate my life to him, and B, realize, yes, it might be hard. Yes, it might be overwhelming. Yes, I might be overwhelmed, but hey, he's going to help me. I just need to ask, and I need to turn to him and ask for his help. Does this make sense? Can you guys realize the power of this? The power of realizing that I can't give up because I am his slave, and a slave does not give up on the master. And two, I will get the help, and I need his help, and he will help me if I have the right thoughts, if I, ask for his help and turn to him. And that's why Rasulullah ﷺ taught us that after every prayer, we're supposed to say, Allahumma a'inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatika. Allah, help me to remember you, to worship you, and to thank you, and to thank you. And to remember you, to thank you, and to worship you in the best possible way. So this is the power of this stuff. This is the power of it. This is why it's really important. So the mindset, this is your own thoughts, right? Your mindset, this is your own thoughts. But your values, you need to really think of that. You need to really have this in your heart. If you don't have this in your heart, if you think that you are doing this on your own, or you're doing this for yourself, not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or you're doing this on your own, guess what? You'll struggle. You'll struggle. Trust me, you will find it really hard. Because a lot of times, we do things because we're trying to improve ourselves. Let me give you another example. Let's say, for example, you're trying to lose weight, right? You're trying to lose weight. Now, a lot of times when you're trying to lose weight for yourself, it's really, really hard. But let's say you're trying to lose weight so that you don't end up with, don't end up dying young and missing, let's say, your family, wedding, your child's wedding, for example. Suddenly, because someone else involved, it becomes a huge motivation. Here, I'm telling you, no. You should think about, you're doing this change, you're going through this self-development, not for yourself, you're doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're going through this platform, not to, you're going through this whole goal setting and realistic expectation, all the stuff, not for yourself, it's for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He's going to help you. And He is going to help you. This is the power of these values, of having these two values in your heart. So on a practical tip, number one, think well of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if you fall, even if you struggle, even if shaitan gets the best out of you, even if you find yourself, literally swimming in sins, even if you feel like, oh my God, I'm so bad that I'm just think well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has has an open door policy. Until the last breath, He'll say, anytime you can turn to me, and I will be so happy with you turning back to me, and I will forgive you, and I will help you, and I will, but He wants to see that sincerity. So set good intention, be sincere. That's why I asked you at the beginning, are you guys serious about taking, making these changes? Are you not just here for being in a fun webinar? Are you guys serious? And I want to hear again, are you guys still serious? Are you now guys still serious about living the best version of yourself? Let me hear some yeses. Are you guys serious that, yes, I want to be the best version of myself. I want to, I am going to be the best version of myself. And now I will start realizing that, hey, Allah is on my side. He's trying to help me. And I'm not going to give up. And I'm not going to say, I'm not good enough anymore. I'm going to say, I'm going to constantly make dua. I'm going to constantly ask Allah to make these goals a reality. Seriously, write down 3 to 5 goals for yourself. Spiritual goal, physical goal, social goal, life goal, and just say, and every day ask Allah for those dua. Ask Allah to help you, open the door. This is powerful. This is powerful. Now, here's a pro tip. This is like super advanced stuff, guys. So if you guys can bear with me, connect your dua to one of the 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One or more. So think about, let's say, for example, you're trying to improve yourself, right? I want you to just bring the list of the 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and highlight the name that mostly links to that dua. Whether if you're trying to want to give more charity, you want to read recite more Quran, you want to be a better person, you want to turn away from a bad sin, you want to improve relationship with your family or friends. Think about look through the 99 names of Allah Ta'ala and highlight the ones that relate to dua, and start making dua with that 99 names of Allah Ta'ala. You don't have to memorize it, Marush. All you got to do is just literally pick 2 or 3. For example, let's say you're trying to develop more love between you and your family, for example. So you say Ya Wadud. Allah said Wadud means Allah is the most loving. So Ya Wadud, Allah help me to improving the love between me and my family, for example. So you're trying to memorize Quran, for example, right? You say, Allah, Ya Wahhab, or who gives the gift. Oh, Allah, give me the gift of memorizing Quran. Oh, Ya Kareem, Allah, you're the most generous. Be generous to me and give me memorizing Quran. Do you see where this comes from? So you start linking one of the 99 names of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to the dua you're making, and becomes, again, this beautiful relationship. You start building between yourself and Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And now your self-development goals are linked to your spiritual goals, and you're seeing the power of Iyyaka na'bud wa Iyyaka nasta'in, right? Iyyaka na'bud wa Iyyaka nasta'in. This is the power of developing these goals, inshallah. So this is the practical tip here. Now, value. We spoke about mindset, we spoke about values, and we're going to have just a few more minutes, inshallah. We'll talk about also the rituals, okay? The rituals, think about these rituals are the action part of all of this. So far, I've given you some ideas, some practical tips, but let's now get a little bit more action. What are the 7 rituals to stick to post-Ramadan? So think about, how change happens. A lot of times, there are 3 ways when change happens. Number 1, an epiphany. Someone here mentioned they had an epiphany today, alhamdulillah. An epiphany means, some new idea that crosses your mind that completely changes the way you think and how you act and how you do things. Now, sometimes epiphanies take place over time. Sometimes epiphanies don't happen overnight, right? Sometimes epiphanies don't happen overnight. Sometimes epiphanies happen overnight. Sometimes epiphanies happen when you're driving, but it's very hard to engineer epiphanies. That's why it's kind of hard to really make this as a practical way to change, because we cannot just rely on epiphanies to change every day. Sometimes you have to change your environment. And this is what happens in Ramadan. In Ramadan, our environment keeps on changing. This is what happens, right? So our environment changes. That's why it's easy for us to change. But the third most reliable way for us change to happen is baby steps. Step by step, bit by bit, day by day, you keep moving until you become the best version of yourself. I want to share, again, a personal story. People think, they call me Abu Productive, right? For me, being productive was not an overnight thing. It took years of changing habits, changing routines, trying something new, bit by bit, step by step, until the new habits set in. It's not overnight success. It's not like, one day I woke up in the morning, okay, I'm productive today. It is step by step, step by step. So with that in mind, I want you to now think about what are the baby steps that you need. What are the baby steps that you need to help you get closer to the best version of yourself? What are the step by step you need to help you become a better version of yourself? What are the baby steps you need to become a true worshiper of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? This is what I want you to start thinking about. So think about, here are 7 rituals to stick to, okay? Now, these are like the basics. And I'm going to go through these very quickly because we have to wrap up because it's almost close to the hour. The first one is salah on time. Okay, now again, I cannot stress the power of this. Not just salah, and I'm really, really happy about people who are able to have to leave for prayer because they pray in your country. I salute you for that. Yes, don't listen to this webinar. Go and pray. Inshallah, is right. Prayer is more important. Praying on time is more important. So thank you. For those of you who have to go and pray, please go and pray. Do not stick around this webinar to listen to me speaking. Prayer is way better than by this webinar. So salah on time, not salah after time, before time, on time. If you start praying on time, you'll start realizing that you're starting to develop this relationship with Allah. We have an article on ProductiveMuslim where I share my personal story on how when I started, when I was late for Salah, things became late for me. Everything, work, business, family, things became late for me. But when I started praying on time, things started becoming on time for me. And this is Hassan al-Basri talks about this. Imam Hassan, a very famous scholar, talks about this power that when you pray on time, things happen on time for you. When you are delayed salah, things start getting delayed for you. So really pray on time. I cannot stress the power of this. Now, if you're able to stick in there some duha prayer, some night prayer, some witr prayer, amazing. amazing. Don't give up on these things and praying on time. Fasting, of course, fasting is about at least 3 days a week, 3 days a month, sorry. And then I had a panic attack 3 days a week, but 3 days a month, okay? Make that also another habit. Another habit. It's powerful. It's really, you start fasting 3 days a month and make it a habit, inshallah ta'ala. Reciting Quran, again, do not let this go. Even as, and I won't say do a page. I want to say do half an hour. Don't focus on the amount, focus on the time. Because it's almost like saying, this time, whether it's half an hour, whether it's 1 hour, whether it's 2 hours, this time is my Quran time. This is the time for me to spend listening to the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Think about the reciting Quran, make it a daily appointment, a daily ritual. And again, unfortunately, I have time to go into the power of this, even from a scientific perspective. There's some really powerful stuff about salah and recitation and fasting from a science perspective, but just as a ritual, stick to the reciting Quran. The next two are physical. Eat less. Now you might be like, what? Come on, man. We just had this like a whole Ramadan. Why not eat less? So why eat less? Again, back to my explanation earlier that, sometimes when you eat less, you give more space for your spirituality. You give more space for your soul. So, don't eat to your fullest. Eat just, give the right job. I'm not saying go hungry. I'm not saying, you should starve yourself and kill yourself, but start reducing the amount of what you eat and you'll find yourself lighter. You find salah lighter. You find Quran lighter. You find fasting easier. A lot of things become easier by you eating less, right? That's why Rasulullah ﷺ taught us that the worst vessel that we fill in is the stomach, the worst vessel that we fill in. So think about eating less, cutting down, maybe having a smaller plate, right? Eat less, eat slowly. If you eat a lot, maybe you're eating too much, too fast, too much. So eat less and you'll find yourself more lighter spiritually. Nap regularly. Take a 20-minute nap every day in the afternoon, before Dhuhr, after Dhuhr. This will help you with your night prayer. Nap regularly. Again, these are two powerful things. Again, I talk a lot more about napping and sleeping and eating in my programs, but eat less, nap regularly. You'll find the power of this, inshallah. And then the last two are social. Connect, serve with your parents, siblings, relatives, families, children, right? Start connecting on an emotional level. Start connecting regularly. Start really being focused on those relationships. That is powerful. When you connect to these relationships matter in the long term. And of course, lastly, volunteer for a social cause. Volunteer for a social cause. Help those around you. Choose one social cause, and help yourself move forward, inshallah. Naps, Rafin, is about basically, eat your napping 20 minutes a day, either before or after Dhuhr, and you'll find yourself easy for you to stay up at night and pray your night, inshallah. Even if you have a 9-to-5 job, I used to have a 9-to-5 job, I used to find a space to nap. I used to be very, very diligent with my napping. So this is the framework. This is the framework we chose to talk about, right? It's a framework of how to develop the mindset, the values and rituals. And really, this is the framework that brings barakah in your life. This is the framework that will help you constantly improve. And barakah is this divine goodness where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees that intention in you. Sees that you're being realistic, you're thinking long-term, that you are being holistic, sees that you're really doing this for him and you're really asking for his help, and that you are consistent with these rituals we spoke about. This is where you start having that barakah. This is why you start having that power of blessing coming into your life, and you start realizing the impact this has on your life. I cannot stress the power of this. I cannot stress how through this framework, and I want you to start drawing. There's a lot more we could talk about mindset, values, and ritual, but I just wanted you to draw this diagram. Start thinking, what other mindsets that I need to think about? What other values I should incorporate in my life? What other rituals I should develop myself? But for now, what we have shared with you is a lot of stuff. So I want you to be practical, inshallah ta'ala, and make this very, very, practical, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. So with this, I pray that this was beneficial. Can I have some yes or no, perhaps? If this was beneficial, this was useful, if this was practical. Like, did you enjoy this webinar? Did you find that it was practical and useful? Even if you left this training right now, you could use what you learned today and be better post-Ramadan. I hope that you found this is useful. I want to say thank you to a lot of you who spent till the end from the beginning. Really, really powerful stuff. I really appreciate that, inshallah ta'ala. If you found this useful, if you found this beneficial, and if you still have a few more minutes with you, inshallah ta'ala, I would love for you to, just wait, with your permission, spend a few extra minutes, talk about my upcoming masterclass program that's coming up in a couple of weeks, inshallah ta'ala. If you can stay, please stick around. I'll go over the masterclass and then we'll open the floor for some question and answers for you. If you need to leave, don't worry, no hard feelings. I totally understand. So you can definitely leave now until the webinar. But I'm going to spend the next few minutes, inshallah, going over what the masterclass is about, when the masterclass starts, the Dynamics masterclass, and then inshallah open the floor for the Q&A, inshallah. So over the last 3 years, we've been building a powerful life skills program linking Islam to productivity science. It's called the Productive Muslim Online Live Masterclass. This masterclass is designed to help you become a better version of yourself, spiritually, physically, socially. Think of this masterclass as a tool, a platform, a class that helps you bridge the gap between who you are today and who you need to be. Right? We all want to be better person, better spiritually, physically, socially. This masterclass is the practical stuff, the stuff you're not taught in school, the stuff that, the life skills that has helped me, the life skill helped a lot of people going through my program, bridging the gap between the masterclass and between who they are and who they need to be. Now, we were trying to answer this question: how do you consistently live the best version of yourself spiritually, physically, socially? Right? How do you consistently live the best version of yourself? And so we developed a 6 weeks hands-on live online masterclass. This is not recorded material. This is not some video training you attend and forget about. This is actually almost like a group coaching program where I'm going to be working with you for 6 weeks. We'll be working together, giving you homework assignments in between, so that over 6 weeks, you're learning the practical strategies and tips, just like this webinar, even more practical, even more detailed, than to help you live the best version. So this is the practical stuff, the stuff that you, again, is not taught, unfortunately, in schools, but is very, very powerful. So I'm going to go over the session. The first week, we'll talk about what does the best version of you look like? What does the self, nafs, is? What does it look like? How would you feel here, experience when you live the best version of yourself? What will people notice when you change? How does change happen? What are the influences over your heart, your mind, your soul that do not help you become the best version of yourself? This is the kind of Islamic psycho-spiritual work that is that we share as part of the Productive Muslim platform to help you become the best version of yourself. Session 2 is all about spirituality. So session 2, we're going to go deeper into this framework again. We talk about the mindsets, the values, the rituals, the idea of barakah. What is barakah? How can I get more barakah? What other mindsets, what other value, other ritual I should develop in my life to become the best version of myself from a spiritual perspective. Session 3 is all about physical productivity. Again, session 3 is all about how do I manage my food, like what food, and we're going to go into detail, like what food exactly you should eat to help you basically be a better performer, to feel more energetic, to feel that you are able to be more energetic. How do you manage your fitness? What are the exercises you should do every single day, every week? What time should you exercise to help you become the better version of yourself? And finally, how do you manage your sleep? So we'll talk all about sleep cycles and naps, and a lot. Again, we'll do experiments with sleep. So we're going to measure your sleep cycle. Inshallah, we'll work together to measure your sleep cycle and really start realizing the power of sleep to help you become the better version of yourself. Now, session 4 is all about focus management. We live very distracted lives, and not just focus management in terms of, social, focus in terms of our distractions, our sort of, external distraction, like smartphones and internet, but even internal distractions like our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, stress, right? A lot of times stress can be a distractor. Our emotions can be distractions sometimes. Sometimes our negative thoughts can be distractions. So how do you manage your internal distraction and your external distractions so that you maintain focus? We'll talk about how to manage your time as well. Again, very powerful thing, managing your time and routines. How do you structure your week? How do you structure your day? How do you structure your life so that you can be the best version of yourself across all your roles? We're going to share some never to be seen new worksheets by Productive Muslim. We're going to be sharing with you, inshallah, to help you manage your time and routines to become the best version of yourself. We'll also, finally, the last session, we're going to put all of that together because these tools are powerful. These tools are peak performers. These tools are powerful, people who are high achievers, the athletes, the CEOs, the top performers. We're going to say, well, learning all these tools from a spiritual perspective, from a physical perspective, from a social perspective, from a focus and habits and routines. How can I bring them all together to build my life's work, to build something that is meaningful, to leave that meaningful legacy for myself and my family? This is the power of this session. This is where we bring everything together. Alhamdulillah, we've had our first masterclass session about, in January, and we went through the first masterclass, and alhamdulillah, people who went through this masterclass session found it very, 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 very beneficial. So here's the good news. The good news is that the masterclass will take place very, very soon. We have the next one starting on Saturday, 7th July, 2018. That is in exactly 2 weeks. It'll be exact same time as this webinar. So if you guys could attend this webinar, technically you can attend, inshallah ta'ala, you can actually attend the masterclass session. Each class lasts about 90 minutes, and the handouts are available and recorded. So if you cannot attend a single class, no worries. You'll be able to get the handouts after class. You get a certification for completing this masterclass program. This is by our sort of parent company, Leading Productive Lives, which is based in Dallas, inshallah ta'ala. This is a practical, hands-on masterclass. It's not a masterclass that you'll go once and forget about it. We're going to start, inshallah ta'ala, on Saturday, July 7th, 2018. Now, here's a gift. Before Eid, we promised people through our mailing list that there's a $100 discount. Now that actually offer went away. But since you guys are here, since you guys are online with me, I'm going to give you back that discount if you sign up for the offer. I already put the offer up for you guys. Just click on that link and you'll find a $100 offer off the masterclass. It's a 6-week masterclass to help you live the best version of yourself. Now, you will also get a free physical copy, not the PDF, an actual physical copy that I'll ship to your home address. I don't care where you live. You can live in Fiji Islands. You can live in US, UK, Indonesia, wherever you are in the world. I'm going to ship you a free physical copy by courier. As soon as you sign up, we'll send the book to you. And we'll give you 1 year access to the premium version of the Productive Muslim Academy, which includes all our video training courses, our monthly book club, our monthly mentorship calls, our private Facebook group, web exclusive interviews, which is valued at about $149 per year. So you'll get a free physical copy of the Productive Muslim book and 1 year premium access to Productive Muslim Academy when you sign up for this masterclass. This is one of our most powerful programs, and that's why we're putting everything behind this program. I'll be honest with you, I used to do a lot of workshops, 1-day workshop, 2-day workshop, 3 webinars, but I found nothing beats having this kind of structured 6-week program where you go through a program over 6 weeks and you start learning, implementing, reflecting back, and actually seeing the change, seeing that you are improving, seeing that you are making a difference. This is becoming very, very powerful, and make it happen, inshallah. So recap, 6 weeks live skills program to help you live the best version of yourself, free physical copy of Productive Muslim, free 1 year access to the Productive Muslim Academy, and lifetime access to recording and the handout, inshallah. So again, we are going to be closing registration June 30th. The reason we're closing early is because we're able to ship you the book on time. So if you cannot, sign up, do not sign up before July 5th. That will be more helpful. Please register by 30th of June, which is, I think the next Saturday. So register by then, inshallah, so that you can be part of this masterclass, inshallah, really become part of this masterclass, inshallah. Now, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you do not want to sign up for the masterclass, if for some reason you say, the masterclass is interesting, but I'm not sure this is good enough for me, well, guess what? You can sign up for the masterclass. And after sort of, 4 sessions, you can after 4 sessions, say, I've tried the masterclass. It was not very helpful. I want my money back. No problem. You can just email me and you'll get your money back. No guarantee, we won't ask you any questions, basically. This money back guarantees offer is for 30 days, inshallah. We also offer installment payments. So if you want to pay in 3 installments, I've just put the link for 3 monthly installments. Again, feel free to register, inshallah. If you cannot afford to pay the full amount in one time, we have 3 easy installments. So you can, inshallah, purchase the masterclass, get the free book, get the academy, and start this journey of learning these practical tips and make it work, inshallah, for yourself. So You have two choices. Choice one is continue as you are. And again, I'm not saying that your life will be in danger if you don't do the masterclass. Alhamdulillah, masterclass is optional, of course. For those of you who want to invest in ourselves, a lot of time we invest in a lot of things in life. We invest in new phones, we invest in new clothes, we invest in, sometimes we invest in so many things in our life, but have we taken the time to invest in ourselves, to really to start building this powerful masterclass, inshallah ta'ala? So I want to make sure that you take some time out to think, is this worth it for me? Do I want to become the best version of myself? I'm serious about becoming the best version of myself, and I'm willing to put in the investment because I feel like this will help me finally make those smart choices every single day to become the best version of myself. We have some great testimonials from the January masterclass, which they've learned a lot from. So you can also see those testimonials on the landing page. But I want you all to really think about the powerful power of having these life skills in your life and making them work, inshallah. All right. With that, again, just the last call that this registration ends on 30th of June. If you'd like to learn more, I'm going to put the link of this masterclass here in this in the chat, inshallah. And then we're going to open the floor for inshallah ta'ala, for questions and answers. So I have a hard stop at 11:15. So if you guys, it's about 5 minutes here, inshallah ta'ala, but let's see, throw your questions away and let's see how much we can get through, inshallah ta'ala. All right, bismillah. So Medina, we do have a PayPal option. So if you go to the masterclass page, we do have a PayPal option, inshallah ta'ala. Azhar, if you're in a different time zone, so again, I highly recommend you turn up live for the masterclass because it's very interactive, but you do can access the recordings, although I really recommend that you do attend live, inshallah. I think Abu Bakr, if you click on the link that I just shared, the masterclass July 2019, you'll see at the bottom, there's two options, one that is paying in installments, or one that is paying in full, inshallah. Alina, for those who are trained to be Muslim coaches, we're going to be developing training soon, inshallah ta'ala, for those who become trainers for Productive Muslim and licensed trainers, inshallah ta'ala, but not yet. This will be a much longer program, inshallah ta'ala. Najida, the classes are only on Saturdays. Yes, only on Saturdays for 6 weeks, starting July 7th and ending the second week of August. Okay. Zubia, yes, you may feel free. You will actually get access to the recording of this webinar. So you'll be able to see this webinar again. You'll get a link to it, inshallah ta'ala, and we will upload it to our YouTube channel, inshallah ta'ala. Sidra, in terms of the confidence, that's a good question. So you can say, Allah, you are, for example, Al-Qawi, you are the strong. Or Allah, you are Al-Mateen. Or Allah, you are, I think the best way, honestly, Sidra, is just go through the names and just look at the meanings of those names. This is a great education for you. And then highlight the ones that are most linked towards to your name. The difference in Masterclass and Academy, the Masterclass is a 6 weeks structured program where you go through this, it's almost like a group coaching program where you go through all this life skills you need to become the best version of yourself, spiritually, physically, socially. The Academy has a number of video training courses from myself and other instructors on different topics. For example, we have one on dealing with anxiety and stress. We have one on prophetic health and nutrition. We have one on Ramadan productivity. So the Academy is more like a library, an on-demand library. We also have a book club in the Academy. So again, you can attend a book club. Also, we have monthly mentorship calls, like a 1 hour call like this one, where I answer any questions you have. So the thing about the Masterclass and the Academy are two, one is like a structured group coaching program, and one is more like ongoing, on-demand type of material. The good news, if you sign up for the Masterclass, you get 1 year free access to the Academy, inshallah. Okay. Zainab had developed a habit of making dua. Set a time and just start making dua every single day around that time, inshallah. Okay. Yes, Habiba, if you've never attended any class of Productive Muslim before, this Masterclass is actually for you. So feel free, if you sign up Masterclass today, you will see the benefit, inshallah ta'ala, of we start from scratch. Even those who've been with Productive Muslim for so many years, they've gone through this webinar like, wow, things have changed as we started. We've been doing this for 10 years now. So thinking that you'll find it fine, inshallah ta'ala. Have you thought of doing things physical in the US? Yes, I've done programs here in Dallas before, but inshallah, we might be doing a retreat here in Dallas. So I prefer to do retreats. We have retreats in Indonesia once a year, and also do retreats in the US. So I'll just be updated on Productive Muslim mailing list. We'll send announcements about retreats and our programs coming up. We're planning one in October in Dallas, a retreat in Dallas, and we're planning another retreat in Indonesia, inshallah. This is more like a 3-day to 7-day retreat experience, inshallah. Abdurrahim, about how to intention of showing off. Again, the best thing is for you to do the good deeds anyway, right? Sometimes, again, a classic shaitan trick is they'll say, oh, you have bad intentions, or you are being, you are being insincere. But I want you to really do the actions, ask Allah for sincerity, and keep doing it anyway. Musa, coming to DC area anytime soon? I would love to. Just drop me an email if you have an organization that was into host Productive Muslim. More than happy, either myself or one of my team members, to attend, inshallah. Planning for 20 years. Khadija, again, the idea for 20 years, that again, it sets that long-term vision for yourself. So once and we have a class inside the academy where we talk about how your life goal, how to translate the 20-year goals into daily goals is very, very powerful. Jerry, the book club is run by one of our team members called Kai Whiting. What he does is that every month you are given a book. So you actually have to buy a book on your own or maybe get it from the local library. And then we assign you the chapters to read as well as the reflection questions to have. And then we have a webinar at the end of the month where we talk about the book club. And again, our goal is to connect spirituality to personal development science. So let's say we read a book, let's say The Power of Habits by Charles Duhigg. We read that book. We then meet to have a webinar online, talk about how that book can be, how can we think about that book from a science perspective as well as from a spiritual perspective as well. Okay. And Nazir, PayPal, yes, you can pay in PayPal. If you just go to the link I sent you earlier, you'll see the options to pay in PayPal at the bottom, and then inshallah you find yourself easy, inshallah. When you click on the checkout page, it should be there. Otherwise, just drop me an email and I'm going to help you. So Sidra Book Club is amazing. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. So Umu, if you have the book already and you have the Academy subscription already, drop me an email. I'll be able to give you a $100 discount, because if you have the book and the Academy already, just drop me an email. I'll give you an extra $100 discount, because basically, instead of us sending you the book and giving you a subscription, or if you want, we can give you another extra year subscription to the Academy. Just drop me an email. My email is muhammad@productivemuslim.com. Drop me an email and I'll send you another additional discount for the masterclass, since you already have the book and the Academy. Okay, Medina, you have till 30th of June, inshallah, to sign up for this masterclass. We haven't decided yet when the next masterclass will be. Depends. I've got some few travels coming up, so I'm trying to find a 6 weeks window. Amazing self-help books you recommend. Again, Abdurrahim, depends what you want in life. See, personal development is all about the areas you feel that you need help with. If you're struggling with, say, with spirituality, you need to develop, basically you need to start thinking about I need to develop some spiritual books. If you're struggling with family relationships, read books about, helping the family relationship, inshallah. Okay, I really need to go in about 3 minutes. Okay, any last questions? And again, I've shared my email. It's muhammad@productivemuslim.com, MOHAMMED@productivemuslim.com. I also shared the link to the masterclass. Nuraila, that is a topic for another day, inshallah. I think that's a good question, but it's a topic for another day. I think it's show by actions. If people see that you are being the best version of yourself, have the manners of Islam, you wake up early, you're productive, you're successful, you are someone, and this is why this masterclass is so important, because when you live the masterclass, when you live when you learn the life skills in the masterclass and start implementing it, you start realizing that you are becoming this amazing human being, not just on a spiritual level, but amazing human being that even people around like, whoa, what's happening with you? You wake up early, you're healthy, you are productive, they start realizing how the power of this shaitan. Are you going on holiday? Again, you can access online, so check for the masterclass, inshallah, and you make it easy, inshallah. Azhar, drop me an email and I'll respond back to your question. Jerry, again, just drop me an email and then we can talk about how to invite to a city, inshallah. My book is called The Productive Muslim, where faith meets productivity. Is available on Amazon and Kindle and audiobook. If people love audiobooks, you'll find audiobooks there, inshallah. Okay, trying to think. Khadija, how to prevent riba? Again, my recommendation is to, whenever you catch yourself saying riba, just catch yourself. Just be conscious. stop being conscious about how that you're saying ghiba, and then remind yourself not to say it again. If the more conscious you are of actually saying, of backbiting somebody, the less you'll do it. If you're not conscious of it, that's where the problem starts. Start by being conscious, inshallah. Okay. So yes, the next session is July 7th. So Jerry, drop me an email. I know we've spoken on email. Drop me another email if you want to ask more questions, and I will have to sign off. Again, I want to say thank you a lot. Again, thank you, Jazakumullah khair. All of you have been amazing. We've had an amazing session. I learned a lot from you guys, just from your enthusiasm, your interaction, your questions. I hope this was beneficial. You should receive a recording after this from Webinar Jam, the platform itself, but I'll also send this as an email to everybody else who has not been able to attend. I want to say Jazakumullah khair. I ask Allah to reward you all, to help you to live the best version of yourself, whether you join the academy or not, whether you join the masterclass or not, it doesn't matter. I really, really, really want you all to live the best version. Set those good intentions, work hard, and make the most out of your life. Do not, I repeat, do not just waste your lives not being the best version of yourself. This deen is beautiful. It helps us help us become better. So just work with it. Join us, ProductiveMuslim. Jazakumullah khair. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdik. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.